So here's my new Ruger semi-auto with the carbon fibre barrel. Stripped it all down, going to do a few mods to it. She's virtually brand spanking new. And this is lightweight, and my possum gun, it's not a super accurate gun. There's the, I wouldn't think, there's the barrel length is only 330mm long, so you're not going to get super accuracy with a barrel that short. And the moderator piece is, you know, there's no rifling in the moderator, so and it's a full barrel length, so there's holes here going back, and the front moderator just screws on. But like I say, there's no rifling in here to give it that extra twist. She's only that 330mm length just there, so it's not a accurate gun, and it never will be a super accurate gun. But for possums and rabbits, what I'm close range, it'll be sweet as, and I need a semi-auto. So the things I'm going to do is free up the bolt. Underneath we'll find it's all got overspray, and we're going to polish that up. We're going to polish up the trigger, in the back of the trigger here. We're going to give that a good polish up, and this steel pin which goes into the back will be, goes into the back of the bolt piece, which the bolt hammers onto. It's a buffer. That steel pin, we're going to biff that, and I'll make a nylon pin which is a wee bit softer, a wee bit quieter, and just takes a wee bit of jarring out of the 22s, the Rugers. There's quite a lot you can do to a Ruger. If you're a Ruger person, jump on YouTube. We're going to modify the trigger. We're going to make the trigger a wee bit better. People put in trigger stops in the back so that it hasn't got the full pull, and it stops the jerkiness, give you a wee bit more accuracy. Down under here, this little button here is a pig. It locks the bolt back, so you pull the wee button and the bolt locks back, and then you got to push or slide, and then the bolt and then the bolt will flick open. Well, we're going to modify that so the bolt will lock about there, and then I can manually pull it back and it'll just slam. So very easy to disassemble. So we'll pull this out. So you lift up the bolt piece, and then the back of the bolt will come out like that, and slide. So on the bottom here, we're just going to polish these two riding points, polish them up. We'll polish the sides up, and straight away you can see it's overspray. It's just all full of overspray, so we're going to clean all that out. And you'll probably find when I get down, there's a couple of, yeah, I can actually see there's a couple of casting marks in there which aren't dead flat, and that'll make it run a lot smoother. And what all this does is helps with non-jamming. So the Rugers can jam on subsonics, which is all this rifle will ever use, and I'm running 900 feet per second subs, and they're absolutely filthy buggers to run. So every now and then you've got to pull your gun down and give it a clean out, and by getting it all nicely polished up, it'll clean out really easily. Cost me, I think it was under $80, I'm going to say, less than 80 bucks. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of showing you me doing it. but I'll come back and show you when it's finally done. And then one of the big things with a 22 is the tightness of your barrel bolt, your action bolt. If that's too tight, it will fire all over the place, and if it's too loose it will fire all over the place. So it's a matter of mucking around with that and just getting the right tension on your barrel and all your trigger assembly when she's all back together. There's not much in the way in here, it's just flat. There's no V ends, there's no nothing. Really basic, but super lightweight. Carbon barrel, $990. It'll outlast me. Can't go wrong. Bolt action is way too slow. The amount of possums, rabbits that we're doing nowadays, a lot of rabbits have come back. We need semi-autos. So I'll get into it and we'll come back to you later on. So here you can see, just here, the rough casting, which you can see that casting there. So we're going to smooth that out, and then we'll finish polishing the rest of that up. Another thing we're going to do is at the back of the bolt here, it's squared off. So we're going to put more of a chamfer on the back of the bolt, and that's going to make it ride up the trigger rather than slamming into it. So it'll make it all a wee bit smoother. So we'll chamfer that off, round it up, and give it a bit of a polish up. Okay, so we're all polished up. There's the backs all reshaped. It's reshaped and polished off, and then on the back here we've just given this edge a bit of a polish as well, so we can throw all that back together. It goes in there, it goes up in there, and then we're good to go, and that'll just make it a little bit smoother in there. And we'll get onto the trigger and the rest of it. Right, now see how we've got the little heart. We've got the wee heart shape just here. Well, this point, we're going to take that point off, and we're going to round the top of that out. So we'll change that heart shape, and then it'll go to auto unlock for me. Okay, so the the wee heart's gone, and we've got a nice little rounded piece here, and we just have to put that in and try it, and might need to shape it a wee bit more, but with a bit of good luck we've got it right. Now when you're putting it back together, there's a wee spring, there's a wee tiny spring here, and it's really important there's that wee spring with the wobbly leg. It's really important that you lift that spring up, because that spring comes down on this little edge here. So lift that up, spring all the way back, stick your plate in, and then put that wee spring all the way back down so it's hooked back onto that plate. Right, so the other thing was we got to make our pin. So I went down to Dotmar, Bennett Street in Palmy, and got some nylon, and we're just going to tack it on the grinder. Okay, so we've ground our pin down, and it's going to be nice and snug in there. So I'll just go cut it off, and we'll be all done. There we go. She's delicious. If you've got a lathe, you could do it on a lathe, but if you haven't, then wee bit of skill, and that just quietens it down and takes a bit of shock out of the back of the rifle. So yeah, we're ready to go. Just have to make sure that these little pins don't drop out, because they can go everywhere. Trigger's beautiful. Oh, and there we go. We're all back together, and for me that took a total of 2.5 hours. Nice easy job. So we've polished up the bottom of the bolt, given it a little trigger job, and we've modified the bolt to like an auto release, which is working perfect. And just waiting for my new tactical scope with a holographic. We should be here any day, and we'll throw that on, and then we'll give you a review on that. And yeah, nice one. Cheers.